She will, and
We are recording. All right, I am going to call this meeting to order and let you know that it is Monday, May 20th, 2024, at 6 PM. The Suamico Village Board meeting called to order. I've got roll call. The president is excused this evening, as well as trustee Romez. So I would be looking for a motion to appoint a chairperson for this evening's meeting, please.
who wants it?
Steve,
Do you want it?
you did a great job last time.
You did a fine job.
Would nominate Steve Andrews.
Okay.
I second.
For a return engagement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, congratulations. You're chairperson for this evening's meeting.
All right, it is 6:02, and we're calling the Suamico Village Board meeting to order, Monday, May 20th, 2024. Reminder for people to, if they come up, to please speak directly into the microphone for recording purposes. Number 3, looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by trustee Schneider,
Second.
second by trustee Eckert. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay? No nays. Motion carried 5-0. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 5, presentations.
No presentations.
No presentations, okay. 6, public appearances. This is the time that the public may address the village board on items other than those scheduled on the agenda. Please speak directly into the microphone and begin by stating your name and address. No action may be taken by the village board, but the item may be referred to another committee or staff to follow up. Those persons wishing to speak on any item scheduled on the agenda will be given an opportunity to do so when that item is being considered. We have anyone that wants to mention? Come on up.
Go for it, Joan.
Here I am again. Hopefully I won't be as long-winded as last time. I have a couple items, though. One in particular that I first of all, I should begin properly. My name is Joan Mutz. I reside at 830 Longtail Beach Road. As a follow-up for my last appearances, the Shipyard Marine, now known as Marine 365. One of the issues that we have, or I should say a concern, which affects us very personally and financially, and that is our driveway. Because of Longtail Beach Road ending and Longtail Beach Lane beginning at the marina or the club site, there's a lot of turnaround in our driveway, because we are the first driveway next to the ingress and egress at the marina. And we personally had to replace our culvert about, well, it was 218, what is that, 6 years ago or whatever? Andy?
Yep.
You were called upon when the pipe was placed, and that was another issue, because we had to put in a great big 48-inch culvert pipe, and it was about 30 or 40 feet long. And when the people came to place the pipe, we had to call Andy because it wouldn't fit. It was too long. It was about 30 or 40 feet long. And the end walls, we were required by the village to put this length of pipe, this diameter size pipe in there, which we felt we didn't need to be that large, but in any event, the end wall didn't fit because of the utility pole and the guide wire from the utility pole, the end walls wouldn't fit. So before they could leave it in, you came down personally and okayed, we don't have the one end wall because of the guide wire, which is still there, maintaining that, or holding that utility pole. So, but I just mentioned it in reference that it's a relatively new culvert pipe at rather considerable cost, I would say. It was about 12 grand to put that pipe in, and it's not been in use that long, and we get a lot of turnarounds, and mostly related. We're not down there 24/7. In fact, we can't even see our the culvert from where we reside because of the big building that exists there. And so I call that to the attention because the Village of Suamico didn't contribute $1, not one amount of the cost of that culvert. And if it should happen to break through, because we look at the condition of the entrance of our culvert now, and it's not the condition that it was when it was replaced, Andy. So if that should happen again, since there is a 35-foot setback there, or what do you call that? The setback from the road in
The right of way?
where the ditch is, because the ditch is immediately, and the north side of Longtail Beach, the road, the ditch, it's become a ditch. It's almost like a channel. If the culverts weren't there, actually, a canoe or kayak could actually use that ditch, which we have to cross over to get into our residence every day. And that happened basically because years ago, what happened, the town diverted the south ditch. The south ditch has a pipe directly from the south ditch to the north ditch, and so it's very deep and it's very wide, and so under the circumstances, that 30-foot ingress, the culvert pipe is already there, so I want to go on record, Michelle, in your minutes, I want to go on record as if this should happen to break through because of other vehicles using that basically or along with us, but because of the weight. One time there was a concrete truck too that turned around there, and it was heavily loaded because of the construction or something else going down to Longtail for building new residences down there. And there was an eyewitness for that, and I went to the manager and went on record as saying that if that should happen to break through, I want for you people to share the cost of that or help us out in some way, because you used our private driveway. It was not a village road. So I
Okay.
just want to go on record as saying that if that should break through reasonably soon, I would hope that the village and somehow would at least replace it, since we had to replace it without any help the last time. I would like for the village to bear some of the cost of a replacement should that need be.
Have you
So
posted
that-
it, no turnaround?
Pardon?
Have you posted that by the end of the driveway? Have you posted by the end of the driveway, no turnaround?
No.
Might want to do that.
Yeah, that's just what I was gonna say.
Put a
Maybe
posting,
to
there's
get
signs that you
together
have
with-
made up that say no turnaround. You put those on both sides of your driveway, and that will give people notice that they're not supposed to use that.
But then how are you going to fault the person that may do it when a lot of the turnarounds are because of the neighboring, now, which has become a boat club? If that yard
You're
is,
going to have some of it. I'm just trying to give you
Yeah,
suggestions on how to
yeah.
limit it.
I know, but at the same time, this has been an ongoing and will be an ongoing and probably become a greater problem if this is going to be used because of the yard, wall-to-wall boats that are in the yard. The docks are vacant and the yard is full of boats, and now that the condominium that was there, the last remaining residence, is now gone, and because of the setback from the water's edge being 50 feet, now with boats, it can even be used more, because the condo was there in the setback being 50 feet. Well, now they can put a boat there because it's not a permanent dwelling, so I
All
just
right.
bring that to your attention.
So does Steve Dunks or Andy Smits, do you, either of you maybe have some ideas for Joan in that situation? And if you do, we could follow up with that later. Other than turnaround signs?
I mean, you can't prevent everything. I would recommend a private drive, no turnaround sign of some sort, if you label it as private drive.
I can't hear, I hear you speaking, but I don't hear,
I would recommend labeling it as private drive or private driveway, right up front.
yeah. But then beyond that, because of use from outsiders and heavy duty, like when I came to the last meeting, that day, the activity that was going on because of the pavement in that yard, there, I mentioned at the last meeting how full of traffic it was. And now they're parking, like this weekend now too, there were vehicles parked. There are signs posted there, no parking, but they park on the road because there's no place. Then that's another thing that this is, it just comes to mind now. What happens as this becomes a boat club and there are so many boats on land rather than in the water, and the club members, if they come to use the boats, where are they going to park? Because there is insufficient parking there. I understand, I received a call, someone indicated that there is a health and safety meeting tomorrow, so I plan to go to that just to find out what that commission is going to be speaking about. It's my understanding that that's on the agenda for tomorrow.
Yeah, I can help you with that. It's right here. It's at 4:30 tomorrow, and we've gone ahead and done some early traffic studies of what the history's been there, and you're more than welcome to attend that, and we can have more of these types of conversations, but please come back tomorrow at 4:30.
Oh, okay, okay.
Your culvert is in good shape, Joan. I mean,
Pardon?
So your culvert is in really good shape. It was
Is
brand
this-
new 4 or 5 years ago. It was a corrugated metal pipe, should last 20-plus years, no problems. It's built to have heavy vehicles go over it, not that they should be there, but it can withstand, people
Yeah.
turning around.
Because it is, I don't know, I asked, I remember at the time, but I never did get an answer to it. I'm just wondering how many people were, required by the village to put in a 48-inch in diameter pipe. That's a pretty darn big culvert pipe, and, the neighbors have a squashed in, pipe. In fact, they're able to use that extra 35 feet because they park on it. Boats and vehicles are parked on the fill around the pipe. So you see, their gain, our loss, but so what? Then one other item I do have is a follow-up to my last comment, the lighting. That lighting on that latest edition, Steve, has to be turned down because that light lights up our property more than their lighting lights up their own property. And the setback on the north, unlike on Longtail Beach Road frontage, is only 10 feet. And so at night, that light is shining our direction more than, well, I don't know, I'm not on the south side of the light, but it never was lit up there at all prior to this latest edition, and I would like something done about that extra,
He was notified that he needs to adjust that.
pardon?
He was notified that he needs to
Well,
adjust.
okay, well, then we better keep after them because it's very bright. On another issue unrelated to the boating club, well, it must be about 3 or 4 years now, on and off. I have a problem of trying to communicate with the proper authorities when it comes to the water itself, Green Bay. Because being on the water, these boats, I don't know if they come to spear carp or what it is, but it's noise pollution as well as interference as far as I'm concerned. The hours are anytime. Last week, one night, between 2 and 3 a.m. And the engine revving up, they come to the shoreline very close. And at times, the living room is lit. That we may not be in the living room, but the living room is lit up because of the boats, the shining, the brightness of the lights. And it sounds like an airboat on occasion. And so it's any time from darkness throughout the whole night. I have on occasion over the years, not often, but I have, not knowing who to call. And it's my understanding now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm told that the Village of Wisconsin is now actually the caretaker or is under the jurisdiction, Longtail Island is under the jurisdiction of the Village of Suamico. Is that correct? Because I've been in touch with people at DNR thinking right away it would be a DNR situation, Water Island related, but what is your control of the island itself? Because now it's my understanding they're going to keep, in repair, trying to do what they did on Cat Island and keep the island as much intact as they can, because, and that's another thing, because of the erosion where the island has broken through over years where we're not protected. So if they do something to do that, that would be a nice help anyway, if they keep the island in shape rather than deteriorating more.
Joan, the Bay of Green Bay is under the Brown County.
Pardon?
The Bay of Green Bay is under the jurisdiction of the Brown County Sheriff's Department. So any violations or ordinances or noise would have to go through them.
Yeah, because I've already called them, not the emergency, but I said, can you come? Because there were times when it was so noisy, and I figured that if an officer, Brown County officer, would come and do a check to see what's happening, but it's just, DNR says, no, go to Suamico, so you come to Suamico, and I'd like to know if Suamico's in charge of Longtail Island right now.
Well, Longtail Island is within the boundaries of the Village of Suamico. It's owned by the DNR.
Yeah.
We have no way typically
So
for
then
our
maybe the
officers.
person I spoke with at DNR probably didn't understand that either. I don't know or maybe I misunderstood when they said it's under the jurisdiction of Suamico. Maybe they did mean the parameters of I don't know. But
All
anyway,
right, well,
the boating, whatever they're doing, if they're spearing carp or whatever, it started again the last couple weeks, and this has been going on and off now for years. At one time, we thought it was some sort of tournament, but those lights and those boats coming that close to the shore, and especially when they're shining directly on a residence rather than out on the water, it's not very pleasant, so.
all right, thank you.
Thank you for bearing with me. Hopefully I can miss the next meeting and not trouble you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow at
We'll see you tomorrow.
4:30, God willing. Thank you.
Okay. Would anyone else like to come up for public appearances on items not on the agenda? Okay. Move on. Number 7, consent agenda. A, previous minutes of village board, May 6, 2024. B, April 2024 treasurer's report. C, April 2024 municipal court report. D, April 2024 recreation report. E, application from the New Zoology Society for a temporary Class B fermented malt beverage and Class B wine licenses for Sip and Safari event at the New Zoo, June 11th, 2024, at 4418 Reforestation Road. F, applications from the New Zoology Society for temporary Class B fermented malt beverage and Class B wine beverages for Feast with the Beasts event at the New Zoo, August 5th, 2024, at 4418 Reforestation Road. Is there?
And then, Mr. Chairperson, before a motion is made, I just want to point out an error in the minutes from the May 6th meeting, page 3, the very bottom, the motion for the proposal from Ayers and Associates regarding the design permit and bid. if we could end that motion at the provided, the estimate provided of 9,500,000, period. So strike and bring it back to the village board for the next meeting, please.
I was going to bring that up.
Mark found it too, so thank you.
Motion to approve our consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda from trustee Eckert, second by trustee Schneider, with the change that was provided of after the 9,500,000, there's a period. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay. None. Motion carried 5-0. Number 8, planning and zoning items. A request by Diana Tilkey Estate, 1967 Harbor Lights Road, for approval of a preliminary plat of Tilkey Meadows as prepared by Mach 4 Engineering and Surveying for partial SU-623-3. Zoning Administrator Dunks.
Thank you. We are looking at a 3.9 acre site here. It is zoned residential sewer with single-family home and some vacant land. All of the surrounding properties are also residential sewer with single-family homes on them, a few duplexes on the north side of Harbor Lights. The property is in an area served by both water and sewer, and the laterals are in place for that. Parkland fees would be due at building permits for lot 1s through 4. Lot number 5 is going to contain the existing home and outbuildings. The stormwater plan for the subdivision to the south and west of this Harbor Lights Reserve appears to have incorporated the areas of lot 1 through 4 in that plan. So at this point, Public Works just wants a grading plan submitted and approved. They gotta do some ditch grading and stuff to get that to work. All lots do appear to meet the minimum quota requirements. Your motion from Planning and Zoning was to recommend approval with the condition of approval of that grading plan and then meeting the requirements of all their applicable ordinances, regulations, and reviewing agencies. Thank you.
Any other questions for, do we have to open this up?
It's not a public hearing.
Not a public hearing. Okay.
I mean, Joel from Mach 4 is here. He's allowed to speak as an agenda item. I believe that's one of the property owners that's here too, if they have any questions or you have questions for them.
Does anyone have any questions regarding this or like to speak on behalf or against of it? Okay, then I guess I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary plat of Tilkey Meadows with the following conditions: approval of a grading plan and meet the requirements of all other applicable ordinances, regulations, and reviewing agencies.
Right, motion by trustee Schneider to approve the preliminary plat of Tilkey Meadows with the following conditions. 1, approval of a grading plan. 2, meet the requirements of all applicable ordinances, regulations, and reviewing agencies. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Stevens. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Motion carried 5-0. Administrative items. A, request for a waiver of special fee events from Brian Netto. Clerk Bartoletti.
All right, so this did come back. I did not receive a letter from the foundation, and I believe trustee Neto does have some more information regarding the item.
I'm just gonna pay the fee and be done.
So he's withdrawing his request for the waiver.
Okay. Anyone else have anything on this?
No motions
So
necessary.
no motions necessary because you're withdrawing. Okay.
Apparently, he didn't have enough time to connect with the foundation. We do have time if it does need to go to the next agenda, but that would be your decision.
Okay.
The only
accept his
request that I would have is, I'm not sure the format of that is, to determine when these events occur again, is what's the criteria that we want to use as a board for these approvals, so we have consistency in our decision-making. So I would ask that we have that discussion amongst ourselves or in an open forum.
Okay.
That'd be a good future agenda item.
Future agenda item, we'll put that on for getting some better clarification of all that.
All right, I've got it down.
Okay, number 10, discussion on future agenda items. That was one. Anyone else have anything for a future agenda item? If not, then we go into 11, closed session.
I'll make a motion to move into closed section under Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility.
So the motion on the floor to go into closed session by trustee Schneider. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Neto. All in favor, say aye.
I'll do a
Aye.
roll call vote on this. Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Eckert.
Aye.
Trustee Neto.
Aye.
Trustee Schneider.
Aye.
Trustee Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.